Traveler, Paimon. It's...
Oh, hey, Hoishin! Long time no see! Fancy meeting you here.
Thanks to the help of people like you and colleagues like Ganyu. But I've been feeling distracted. It's a long story. But my father, he's thinking of...
Huh? What's wrong with Uncle T?
Nothing specifically. He's not unwell. He says he's always said, old age comes for us all in the end. Anyway, my father's currently on the second floor of Yangsheng Tea House. Why don't you come? He seems very fond of you, too. I'm sure chatting with you will make...
Sure. Uncle Tien, we're here to chat with you.
Oh? What a lovely surprise. Welcome. Hoishin. I heard that you've been traveling all over the place recently. Hoishin told you, didn't she? Don't worry. I'm quite all right. It's just the years gradually as I grow older, I'm starting to find that with many things, though the mind is willing, I am still very much in good standing as the Tianshu today. Nevertheless...
How difficult is it to transfer the Tianshu?
Oh, well, you see... The Tianshu is a rather unique position among the Liyue Chish. Historically speaking, the Tianshu rarely appears in public. We stay behind the scenes, planning and giving advice. So a public selection process would not be suitable. We also want to keep any prospective Tianshu candidates free from influence by outside forces. So we tend to be as discreet as possible in their assessment and appointment. For these reasons, the incumbent Tianshu typically recommends their candidate of choice, and this is then approved by the other Qixing members.
So in other words, you pick someone, and then Lady Keqing, Lady Ning...
Correct. Unfortunately, due to my health, I won't be able... Not to despair, however, because I found someone exceptionally capable to act on my behalf as assessment officer.
Oh? Who is...
I'm heartbroken. I thought it might take you a little longer than this to forget.
It's Yelan!
Jackpot. Uncle Tien here asked me to assess 3 candidates for him. Fancy joining me? You'll be among the first to get to know the next Tianshu. Might be a good opportunity for you.
What do you think? Paimon thinks so too. It can't be a bad thing to be on good terms with a new Qixing, right?
Alright then. Though, I gotta say, Uncle Tien, you say you're into behind-the-scenes planning? My work's of the covert variety too.
Huh? Yelan, you...
I'm not opposed to the idea. but I suspect Ningguang wouldn't let you go there. So, how about this? If your investigation reveals that none of the other—
Deal. Well, you guys take your time. Everything's all set for the assessment. Meet me on the first floor when you're ready. Until then, have a pleasant Oh, and no need to pay for your tea. As the new owner of this fine establishment— You're all set?
Uncle Tian seems really worn down. It's Lyko, is it?
Yeah, it may sound harsh, but Uncle Tian is past his prime. He's not cut out for this anymore. So he's recommended 3 candidates. Their names are Qinwei, Mingbo, and Zhi. Qinwei is a wealthy entrepreneur. Mingbo works at the Liyue Ministry of Civil Affairs, and try to keep all that in mind. Of course, it doesn't really matter if you forget, since we'll be assessed—
Qianwei, Mingbo, Zhi. Paimon should be able to remember.
Let's leave that until we get to you. All right. Heads in the game, people. The stakes don't get much higher than a change in the Qixing.
Got it. We'll keep our eyes wide open.
My legs are getting sore. What is wrong with this assessment officer? This is a huge occasion and I've dealt with all kinds of people in my time, but never have I been made to stand while I'm—
Oh,
That's called being complacent. If you're happy to just accept—
Oh, come on. That's just... All right, you two. Let's not get into a big argument over this. Qianwei, that was a bit uncalled for. And Mingbo, cut him some slack. We've all been standing around for a— Look, how about this? There's no rule saying we're obliged to stand up while we wait, so why don't we borrow some chairs from—
Fine.
It looks like all 3 candidates have arrived. We'll meet them formally soon. Before that, let me run you through the— I've split it into 2 stages. Current affairs and planning, and face-to-face interview. In the first stage, candidates are required to submit a manifesto for Liyue's development. In the second stage, writing a manifesto takes time, so I informed them of this requirement in advance. These are the reports they submitted.
Wow. One of them is...
It's also worth mentioning a stipulation I gave them. Whoever is appointed as the new Tianshu will be expected to implement their plan. Failing the occurrence of some cataclysmic event, they will not be permitted to change their plan. Therefore, these 3 piles of documents in front of us, there's still some time. Have a skim through, get a first impression of what— I'll be waiting off to the side. Just let me know when you're done.
Finished, huh? Everyone took it very very serious.
Of course they did. They have the chance to be picked as the new Tianshu, so you can bet they're putting... And keep in mind, whoever gets in has to execute their plan. That's for me to know and you to find out. We'll see the candidates now. Let's do one at a time.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh? So you two are the assessment officers, are you? I had assumed that given the great import of this situation, Lady Ningguang would perhaps be assessing us in person. I trust you've read through my manifesto? I'd be more than happy to clarify any details you found difficult to grasp.
Mind your tone, mister.
Relax. It wasn't intended as a personal slight against anyone in particular. Cloud Retainer? You know this Adeptus? Oh, yes, I remember now. You must be the traveler that people are constant. With your sterling reputation, you must have a respectable level of erudition. Perhaps you will be able...
Oh, is it my turn?
Yes. Please.
I'm, Mingbo. I've worked there for, 9 years, 5 months. I have 12 active cases at the moment. They should be concluded in... My current work is related to urban planning, and I'm also responsible for, auditing the accounts. To be more precise, there are 3 parts to...
Is it just Paimon, or is he...
You know what? Let's leave the self-introduction there and...
Oh,
Hello. Not gonna lie, What would you like to know? You're here to assess me, so ask away and...
Your manifesto is very wide in its scope, but you don't seem to be personally involved in many of the specific fields. How can you be...
Very fair question. I completely understand where you're coming from. But I'm confident in my plan. I've visited many different places, talked to lots of people with far more expertise. Of course, 2 different problems can be interconnected in very complicated ways, and you might reach 2 very contradictory conclusions depending on which one you're focusing on.
How do you plan to determine whether you are right or wrong about your proposed solution?
A great question. Well, I'd start by having my colleagues and the secretaries of the Yuehai Pavilion evaluate any proposals before... If it turned out that my judgment was to blame for poor results,
Nice answer.
He seems like a great guy. Everything he said was thoughtful and logical, and
Here's my take on what we just learned. As you saw, Qianwei is highly knowledgeable. He proposes many excellent ideas in his manifesto, which affect... But he is very proud and incredibly stubborn. Mingbo's plan is more thorough and more measured. You can tell he's meticulous in his work. But he and Qianwei are otherwise polar opposites. Mingbo is not very articulate and comes across...
perfect summary. Paimon couldn't agree more.
Last but not least, Zhi. His manifesto is full of pertinent details, his methodology is sound, and his proposals cover a broad range. The depth he goes into in each and every area means it can only be a product of painstaking work. But what really interests me is that many of his views happen to coincide with Uncle Tien's.
Great.
We'll see.
I see. Then it's...
All right. Then let me ask this. The ideas in Zhi's manifesto are very similar to your own.
Oh. I didn't want to say anything when I gave you the list of candidates, for fear of affecting your judgment. But I can tell you now. Those 3 candidates have all studied under me in the past. It's only natural that they share some similarity. But Xianwei went on to focus on his business, and Mingbo has always been occupied with his work at the Ministry of Civil Affairs.
Whoa! So how did you get to know?
Xianwei was referred to me by an old friend. Mingbo came to my attention in the course of my work, and as for Jerry, that was pure happenstance. We first met while fishing. Gradually, as we got to know each other, Jerry came from a poor family, and his parents died when he was very young. He reminded me of a younger version of myself, so I started out giving him a few words of advice when we were out fishing and noticed how quickly he caught on. Quite. And now, all of a sudden, he's grown into a mature young... The young are growing up, and I am growing old.
I don't know, Uncle Tian. You still seem in pretty good shape to me. You might have another few years.
Oh, you. There's really no need to console me. Having less energy than I used to isn't such a bad thing.
Sounds like you sure love fishing.
Ooh, there's nothing quite like fishing to pass the time.
Fresh fish soup.
Doesn't it? Also, some time ago, Jerry, when we've been fishing recently, Jerry always brings some extra ingredients he prepared. That flavor makes for a fond memory.
Oh, can Paimon come next time too? Paimon real.
Let's get back to the matter at hand. Uncle Tian, we've reported...
I appointed you as the assessment officer. Had you not asked me why Jerry's ideas were so similar to mine, I was not going to mention my history with any of them. This decision must be guided by what is fair and right. Please disregard. Remember.
Understood. Come on, let's go talk somewhere.
Bye-bye, Uncle Tian. So, it's gonna be his manifesto was written well.
Easy. Let's not rush.
Huh? So, are you
No, nothing like that. The assessment itself is complete. But let me give you a word of advice. The biggest no-no in intelligence work is to only get information from the person of interest themselves. The truth is almost always hidden beneath many. For example...
Yes?
Lady Yelan, what are your orders?
Ugh! Who are they? Where
Did they scare you? These two are Wenyuan and Shanghua. They work for me. As my trusted assistants, they are always standing guard nearby. Shanghua is a business expert who gets his information by trading. Wenyuan relies on word of mouth. And there's also...
That meathead must have been out there on sea surveillance for some time now. Is he all right?
Nothing can take that guy down. Certainly not a little wind and waves.
Shanghua, visit all the commerce guilds and look into Qianwei's background. Wenyuan, go to the Ministry of Civil Affairs and...
Yes, ma'am.
So what about Juri?
Juri, well, obviously as the most promising candidate. Let's go to the docks first. Lots of people passing through there.
If we're looking for information, why don't we try talking to Bulai? He does business at the North Wharf.
That's actually not...
What's Bulai doing here today?
Look, your asking price for this batch is just too high. I can't buy in at this price. How?
Come on, hear me out. I'm telling you, this is the single... I accidentally dropped one into a well, and even the water turned sweet.
Even so...
All right. I'll let you in on a little secret. The boss of Second Life also wants to buy from me, but I haven't If you won't take him, I'll just have to partner with them instead.
Okay, well, when you put it that way... Oh, what are you doing here? And to be clear, these Sunsetias are mine. I got to them first. Don't get any idea.
Actually, we want to ask you about a guy called...
Juri? I've heard a story about him. They say he was born into poverty. His parents died when he was young, and he was treated cruelly by the local community. One of his neighbors was terribly rude to him all the time, but Juri never retaliated. And when he returned cruelty with kindness, injustice with peace offerings. A gentleman of talent and character, and... how did I not...
Oh, he sounds like a decent man.
Why are you asking about him anyway? You aren't a... Well then, in that case, the higher bidder takes the...
Where?
It's him, all right. Looks like he's chatting with Linlong. Come on, let's try not to let him see you.
I'll just go and fetch an employment contract. And hey, don't try and cut me out of this.
I understand. Let's walk and talk. So, you were looking to buy a wineware set? Oh, now I can see that you're a connoisseur, so I won't bother trying to con you. I trust you understand our shop quite well?
The truth is, an old friend of mine...
What's the hurry? Don't get too close, or he'll see you. Try not to let him see you. We want this information.
I understand. Let's walk and talk.
My friend, what can I get you?
So, you were looking to buy a wineware set? Oh, now I can see that you're a connoisseur, so I won't bother trying to con you. I trust you understand our shop quite well?
The truth is, an old friend of mine who likes to have a drink now and then. He fancies himself as a man of culture, but doesn't care for needless extravagance. So I thought I might buy him a set of high-quality fakes.
How very thoughtful of you. Leave it to me, then. Come and collect it at Shigu Antiques whenever is convenient.
Thank you very much, Miss Linlong.
It's my pleasure, Mr. Juri. These days, it's quite rare for someone of your stamp.
What's the hurry? Don't get too close, or he'll see you. Try not to let him see.
I understand. Let's walk and talk.
My friend, what?
So, you were looking to buy a wineware set? Oh, now I can see that you're a connoisseur, so I won't bother trying to con you. I trust you understand our shop quite well?
The truth is, an old friend of mine who likes to have a drink now and then. He fancies himself as a man of culture, but doesn't care for needless extravagance. So I thought I might buy him a set of high-quality fakes.
How very thoughtful of you. Leave it to me, then. Come and collect it at Shigu Antiques whenever is convenient.
Thank you very much, Miss Linlong.
It's my pleasure, Mr. Juri. These days, it's quite rare for someone of your standing to still keep up with their old friends. It's nice to see. I'll be sure to pick out a good set for you. You can count on me.
Juri seems to get along really well with... Are you satisfied now, Yelan? Seems like...
We shouldn't jump to conclusions just yet. Let's go check out the wharf where he...
Do we have... Wait! You're not just trying to dig up some dirt on Juri.
Maybe I am. Maybe I'm not. But hey, if I do, you'll be able to try all the finest food for free.
We will? Well, come on!
The wharf is as busy as ever. I hear the anglers here sometimes sell their fish to the nearby fishmongers. Let's see what Uncle Soon has to say.
Welcome. What would you like to buy today?
Sorry to interrupt. We're actually members of the, Liyue England. We've heard about this young man called Juri, who's supposed to be a fantastic fisherman. Just...
Whoa! Yelan made up a whole fake identity.
Ah, yes, Juri. He's been making quite a name for himself recently. I've got some friends who travel all over the place, and they... apparently, he had a rather tough time growing up. Had to work several jobs. How does that saying go? What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Well, if there's anything...
Yeah, we think so.
But I'm afraid your Anglers Association might be...
Huh? Why is that?
He's good at a lot of things, but fishing isn't one of them. He fishes at the wharf and sells what he catches to me on occasion. His catches are always mediocre. Not terrible, but equally nothing to write home about. If you're looking to recruit some new members, though, I do know...
That sounds fantastic. I've got a couple of other things to attend to right now, though, so why don't I...
Sure thing. See?
Everywhere they go, they meet someone who's heard of him. Come on, let's keep asking around.
Liyue Harbor is so lovely. So many...
Here to buy some fish? You better hurry. When they're gone,
Hello, we're from the Society for...
Wow, she's...
Society for Fish Price Research? I haven't done anything illegal.
Please, don't worry. We've heard about a certain Juri who's been selling fresh fish at low prices and...
So this isn't about me. You should have said something, you know. I haven't heard anything about him selling fresh fish at low prices, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Oh?
Because he's so poor. His parents died when he was very young, and his alcoholic father still owed a huge amount of debt. He was still a kid when he first came to the wharf. His clothes were ragged, and he had a bandage wrapped around his head. He managed to survive, thanks to Uncle Tien. who gave him some food. But still to this day, he doesn't I mean, he can afford to eat and everything, but you'll often see him haggling with others over just a few. It's not like he catches much anyway, so it's not going to affect my business.
You'd rather he didn't know?
Well, I spoke to him once, briefly, and I just had a feeling that I think he has pretty low self-esteem. But hey, it's hardly my place to say anything. And nobody's perfect. I just wouldn't want—
I see. Well,
not a problem. And just for the record, there's absolutely nothing—
The more times you say it, the less convinced.
Doesn't have a lot of mora.
Hey, it's you guys! Wait, what brings you to me?
The truth is, we are but newcomers to this territory. We heard tell of a great martial artist, Master Dugu, who knows everything.
Really?
But of course. We also heard that Master Dugu is a kind and virtuous swordsman who never turns away anyone who comes.
Great! So what do you wish to know? Nothing happens on this street.
Now she's lying to a kid.
So, Master Dugu, have you heard of one by the name of—
Sure have. You mean that guy that all the grown-ups are talking about? I've heard many tales of Juri. Probably because it's nothing that important. I prefer stories about—
Oh, I can completely understand that. Then let me ask you this.
Oh yeah, I know that. It was before that. People always used to talk about Juri in a kind of nasty tone of voice. But 2 or 3 months ago, sometimes he gives me candies. So I'm glad that people are
Just as I thought.
Huh?
I mean, just as I thought, Master Dugu is indeed as kind—
I'm not that great. Oh yeah, one other thing. These days, there's a lot of people I've never seen before talking about Juri's—
Oh, definitely.
Great! So next time I see them, I'll say hi.
Certainly. You can also tell my friend in Yenshang Tea House about what they're up—
Thank you, man.
You're welcome. Well then—
Until we meet again.
Any of that sound strange to you?
Strange? Well, Juri seems to have a great reputation, Uncle.
True. But the issue is, where did his sudden celebrity come from?
Sudden? Too good to be true.
So he returns cruelty with kindness, and had to work to support his studies. These are the kinds of things that make someone well-known in their hometown. But Uncle Soon said even his friends who travel far and wide hear about him wherever they go. That's a little over the top. Do you remember what Dugu Shuo said about Juri's stories? Clearly they left him with a good impression of the guy. But beyond that, he wasn't interested in the detail. Plus, there's the fact that all this praise of Juri has only been happening within the last— his childhood, his studies, the thing with his neighbor. None of these are recent events.
When you put it like that...
Of course, if that's all there was to it, I wouldn't look into it any further. Juri was born into a poor family. Paying people to get his stories out there is within the rules of the— The problem is, do you remember what Uncle Gao— Right. And that changes everything. It can mean a powerful faction is trying— That's the worst case scenario. But all too often, the most—
Someone's trying to gain influence? Even if we ask Juri about it, surely there's—
First, we need to find out who's supporting him. Remember the current affairs and planning stage of the assessment? Since the successful candidate is duty-bound to implement their plan after taking office, their manifesto tells us their stance on key issues. Whoever is secretly helping Juri must be seeking to benefit from his actions after his appointment. So, we should be able to find some— Come on, let's get back.
I can't believe the well got polluted.
Zhi-Yi's manifesto covers a huge range of topics. Looking for details that don't add up will be like trying to find a needle in a haystack. I'll divide the reports into 2 piles. You take one, I'll take the other. When we're finished, we'll put our heads together. Officially, the assessment is already over, and I'll be expected to announce the results before long. So we have to get to the bottom of this.
Yikes! We better hurry!
Whatever else Uncle Tian might think of Zhi-Yi, the fact remains that he's one of his favorite students. Any evidence he's left is not going to be immediately obvious. We'll have to look...
Even though Yelan took half, well, we gotta start... Oh, this reading is giving pain.
Looks like I'm the first one back, as usual.
Oh, hey! It's one of Yelan's little helpers! Shun! If you're back, that means you've...
You betcha. I visited all the commerce guilds and gathered a wealth of information. Every time they asked me to leave, but I always had enough...
Don't drag this out. Just tell us your findings.
Yes, Lady Yelan. To summarize my findings, most people who've had interactions with Qianwei will start out complaining about how proud and arrogant he is, but then go on to give a generally The young master of the Feiyun Commerce Guild said that Qianwei appears arrogant, but he's very scrupulous in the way he works. Once he signs a contract with somebody, he treats them fairly regardless of their background.
Who'd have thought?
Is it possible that his reputation is fake? Is there any way you can check?
In theory, that should be very difficult. But here's the thing. I asked around and found out that almost all of where he buys from and sells to should be confidential business information, but he doesn't seem interested in protecting it at all. Qianwei often sees business opportunities that others don't, but once he's made enough mora off of it, it's like he gets sick of it and releases all of his trades. It's like he wants people to know that they still can't beat him, even if he shares all of his secrets. The fact that someone like that...
What a strange guy. It's like he's not doing...
To validate his theories. No wonder his manifesto contains so many insights. It's all the result of his first...
I'm back! Huh? Why do you think? Obviously, because I possess superior skills, and am always one step ahead of...
You... Ugh, whatever. I'm not getting into an argument with you. If I hadn't had something else to... Lady Yelan, I have finished...
Well, we're all ears.
The Ministry of Civil Affairs says that Mingbois struggles to get his words out when he gets nervous, especially when he's But after a few days of getting to know him, you can pretty much have a normal conversation with him. On the whole, the feedback from the Ministry of Civil Affairs was very...
In your opinion, was the Ministry of Civil Affairs' appraisal of...
I don't believe so. Mingbois is someone who has slowly but... According to Miss Yu, the Ministry often gets Mingbois to take a final look at projects before they're implemented. People feel much more confident in something if it has his stamp of a... Oh, and also, there was once someone in the Ministry who was lying and cheating to try to advance their career. Mingbois gave them the scolding of a lifetime. Apparently, he can be terrifying when he loses his temper. I haven't seen it for myself, though.
Whoa, that's...
Like I said before, things are not all...
Ah! So that's what you meant by that.
Thank you both. You're free to go now. So, have you finished reading the manifesto?
We still have...
I can't see any immediate problems looking at the individual end. The only one that strikes me as a little unusual is the Chengshu Pool redevelopment plan. Qiangshu Pool has always been home to many secrets. Plus, Ajdaha once wrought havoc there, so there are even more secrets. At some point, a rumor began to go around a long time ago, with the approval.
So, did they find any treasure?
None. The ruin was completely impenetrable. The only way they could have gotten through the solid rock would have been by blowing it open. The technology wasn't mature enough at that time, so the excavation project was shut down and the treasure became... Jur-E's manifesto focuses on solving problems, and this treasure hunt seems extremely risky. Still, this one fact alone doesn't tell us much. Everyone wants to get their hands on this treasure. The treasure hoarders, the Fatui, even local Liyue factions. Did you find anything?
Excavation, project, treasure? Did we read anything Oh yeah! Juri said the Blackcliff Forge workers should get right up.
Did he now? Well, that makes everything much clearer. So Jur-E
Does that mean the Blackcliff Forge is Juri?
No, not likely. I've looked into the Blackcliff Forge before. They do possess some specialized explosives, but it would seem more trouble than it's worth to put... Still, since the clues are pointing toward the Blackcliff Forge, we should see where they lead.
Shenwei and Mingborg both turned out to be completely different than what we thought. What about Juri? Is there another side to him too?
This is the Blackcliff Forge. Let's look around for clues.
What's this?
From the back, it looks like a ledger. But it seems they also use it as a site log. We don't know who wrote it, but it's interesting, don't you think?
You think they're suspicious?
Yes. Look, it says right there, one of them's already... At this rate, by the time the Qingshu Pool redevelopment plan is ready to roll, that'll give them the chance to take a lot of liberties. They can copy any secret texts or steal any treasure. Imagine if we didn't suspect anything. By the time Jur-E recommends the Blackcliff Forge for the excavation project, no red flags if all they did was change some key staff. And even if we decided to vet the staff individually, they'd have had more than enough time by then to come up with fake identities. That's the advantage of planning this far in advance.
When you put it like that, it all makes sense. If we hadn't found this out, someone... So, who's really...
That's a question for the newcomers. But let's start with that word.
Excuse us. We want to ask you about the newcomer.
You want the... I gotta say, these newcomers are in tip-top shape. Fast learners, too. My only complaint is that they're always going out drinking at night. But they never let... I guess they just need some time to adjust.
They go out drinking. This area isn't exactly renowned for the nightlife.
You got that right. They tell me they go all the way back. It rained after work today, so they actually stuck around at the site for a while. But as soon as the rain... Hey, you're only young once, right? I say, if they can hack it, let them...
Interesting. Let's go talk... Looks like our hunch was on the Mora. These newcomers are very... Drinking in Liyue Harbor, huh? Good thing it rained today. It means they'll leave footprints. Just as I thought. They didn't go to Liyue Harbor. They went that way. The footprints stop here, but judging from the direction, I'm guessing their destination... Looks like we were too late. This has gotta be where the newcomers rendezvous with whoever they're working for. But, look at these ashes. Someone was burning documents not long before.
Could there be anything left? Maybe the wind could...
The odds of that are very slim. It's practically impossible. I've checked.
Why don't we wait for them back at the Black Cliff Forge?
We can't count on that. Clearly they were based here at one point, but it's mysteriously... To me, that says that whoever's behind this has moved them somewhere else to throw our investigation.
Darn! Guess this is where a trail runs...
Make no mistake. The purpose of our trip wasn't to find any solid evidence. We just need to figure... I smelled something peculiar the moment Those newcomers probably thought they'd be safe as long as they burned the letters. But what they failed to consider is that paper and ink from different regions produce...
Really? Paimon can't smell...
There is a certain place with a freezing cold climate where there's not... Some wealthy people there put floral fragrance in their ink as a way of injecting a... When that fragrant ink is burned, this is exactly. The evidence will soon be blown away by the wind, so it's nothing we can arrest, but it's all I need. Now I know who we're dealing with. I can plan our next...
Lady Yelan! Oh, thank goodness I finally found you. I thought I'd never see you again.
Don't be alarmed. This is Upei. He's Wenyuan and Shang. I sent him to look into Jur-E's regular contacts. Since Jur-E likes fishing, Upei thought he might know... I left him a note at Yanshang Tea House telling him to look for me at Black Cliff Forge when he got back. So, what did you find out at sea?
Forgive my incompetence. I'm afraid I've come up empty-handed. I asked all the fishermen multiple times, but none of them had any interactions with Jur-E before. Then the waves got so choppy I ended up falling overboard. When I got back, I heard that you'd gone to Black Cliff Forge and might need backup, so I went straight there as fast as I could.
Well, Uncle Tian said that Jur-E once bought a recipe for...
What? No, that's not possible. It's absolutely not possible. Lady Yelan, I'm telling you.
Interesting. Then I wonder how that even more
Fish soup? What fish?
Nothing. Our priority right now is to find a way to get our hands on... Well, any suggestions? Not a bad idea. Upei, what do you think?
Honestly, I've already tried following Jur-E, but the guy's too cautious.
Okay, so tailings...
No, we'll still need to tail him. But...
Groundwork?
When you've worked in intelligence for a long time, you'll understand that no one can stay on high. Tomorrow morning, I'll announce his victory at your... Be sure to arrive on time. It looks like we're all here. Well then, time for me to announce the results of the assessment process. I won't drone on about the importance of the Tianshu role. Suffice to say that Uncle Tian—
All of us here know the score. Don't beat around the bush, just—
Qianwei has many pioneering ideas, but some of his plans are Mingbo is reliable, but not quite ambitious enough. And because of his personality. In contrast, Zhi is evenly balanced across the— after much consideration.
What?
Oh, thank you. Honestly, I'm a little surprised to hear in my estimation, all three of us are worthy candidates for the Tianshu position. As your competitor, would either of you entertain the possibility of working with me in the future? And taking on some of my work?
I'll have to see. I'm in a bad mood.
I don't mind.
Okay, well, that's all from me. Zhi, you'll have some preparation to do. It won't be long before you're informed of your official appointment.
I will live up to the Tianshu name. On this, you have my word. I should go. I need to pack my things, and then I think a celebratory meal is in order.
Count me out. I'm not in the—
Zhi seems pretty relaxed now. This would be a good time to
Hey, Traveler, tell me something. What exactly does that guy have? If you can't answer that, I'm not accepting this result.
I, also wouldn't—
Oh no, if we get stuck here, we won't be able to—
Follow him.
Yes, ma'am.
We finally got—
Lady Yelan, Zhi has gone towards Feiyun's—
Follow him.
So Zhi really sided with the Fatui? But Uncle Tian thinks so highly of him. Why would he do this?
Difficult to say, but everything should become a lot clearer when we find him.
I'm sorry, Lady Yelan. He's too good at this. We weren't able to keep following him.
How the heck did he manage to shake? I guess Zhi didn't let his guard down.
No, Upe says he's much more relaxed than usual. Maybe it's just how he's wired.
What?
Don't blame yourselves. Let's not forget he was trained by Uncle Tian himself. If I'd asked you to tail Uncle Tian, you'd have ended up at a dead end too. It's fine.
Shinyue kiosk. He only went in briefly. Upe and I were watching outside A few moments later, I figured that if we spooked him, it would undo what So I stopped Upe, and I stayed here to wait for you while that meathead went to ask around and
Good work. The fish didn't take the bait, but that's okay. As long as he's still swimming. Let's go to Shinyue.
Could you explain to me how that works? A guy like him comes in, changes his whole outfit right under your nose, and you don't even ask him?
Our customers are free to dress however they please. What grounds—
Okay, fair enough, but didn't—
Well, maybe I did, but it still doesn't give me the—
Enough. Let's tone this down a little. I'll make this quick. Just one question. What did he—
Oh, he didn't buy anything. He just picked up a bottle of liquor that he ordered ages ago.
A bottle of liquor?
Yes, a very strong kind. Fiery, with a rich flavor. No, this gentleman ordered it in person from us a long time ago. He was only here today.
Liquor and wine.
Where to?
Shigu Antiques. Hey, Miss Linlong. Sorry to bother you. Zhi ordered a wine. We're friends of his. He's been telling us how impressed he is with the quality, considering how affordable it was.
Sure. Which model are you looking?
We don't really know a whole lot about wineware.
Zhi picked up his set not long ago. As a quality imitation of an antique wineware set, it has the... Just so you're aware, we don't have many of this model left in stock. And now that Mr. Zhi has taken one, I'm afraid it may
Don't worry. Price shouldn't be an issue. I'm sure we can work something out. But I'm just...
For this set, the wine glasses are sold separately.
Okay. Thanks, Linlong. Seems there's a little more to buying wineware than I first thought.
Well, don't take too long. We could sell out any day now.
This is turning into a real headache.
I'd just like to point out that we have the self-professed Grand Master of Fieldwork here to thank.
It's not like you did any better.
My specialty is information trading, okay? I don't have the physical agility.
Yelan, so is the... Oh, if we can't figure out where Jerry went, there's not much we can do. But...
If so, it's no ordinary.
What do you mean?
First of all, Zhi isn't much of a drinker. On some level, he hates alcohol because if he was just looking to celebrate by himself, he wouldn't spend his meager savings on an expensive bottle. No, this is a victory feast. Held in honor of whoever this person is clearly enjoys hard liquor and has a very high status. Now, where might we find Fatui?
Fatui officials. Should be either the Snezhna...
Have both locations surrounded.
Lady Yelan, is it time for us to make our move? If so...
Get with the program, would you? This is a covert surveillance operation. Zhi may be in which case, we don't need to change tactic.
Great idea! So we just need to find out who Jerry bought that
But Lady Yelan, if we get caught, this could become a major diplomat...
I'm well aware, but don't you see? Zhi is gambling everything. Stick to your orders. And
Yes, ma'am.
Don't worry, Lady Yelan. Zhi may be a slipper.
I'll be waiting for you at the... If I'm guessing correctly, Fatui officials... Perfect timing. Wenyuan just sent word that the Fatui ambassador, Yusupov, just left the embassy alone. He's heading...
Qingshu Pool? That's the...
It looks like that's where they've arranged to meet. Sensible choice. Qingshu Pool is always crawling with monsters. Most people wouldn't dream of going there.
Oh no, we gotta...
Let's go. If my... This is Qingshu Pool, full of ruins, crawling with monsters. Anyone with any sense steers well clear of this place. I've looked into the place before. There's a worker's entrance somewhere around here. Follow me. There's been some work done on this place in the past, but it's a bit of a labyrinth and the workers left an emergency access route. If we can find it, still, be ready to fight at any moment.
Don't worry, we're all... By the way, Yelan?
They have other things to take care of first.
Windblade! With the wind!
Don't get frostbite. Gotcha.
No escape!
Busted. No. Take it easy. Quietly now, as I expected. But this shouldn't be too much trouble.
Guys, see that? That's gotta be the Fatui ambassador. That must be the emergency access route, right? Come on, let's hurry.
Things are about to get dicey. Gotcha.
The water's gone down.
Take it easy. Take it easy. Quietly now. Take it easy. Gotcha. Game's up. Time's over. Quietly now. The water's flowed into the groove, and now the statues have lit up. Okay, now we should be able to move the statues.
open. Let's go.
We should be nearly at the bottom now. Let's wrap this up.
Gotcha!
Oh, so. Cool it.
Busted!
Go, Baron Bun!
Things are about to get dicey. Quietly now.
Take it easy.
I can tell from the aroma that this is very fine. Come on, bottoms up.
Oh, sorry.
You'll get there. If you want to stay...
I'll do my...
You're more of a lightweight than I thought. Already struggling after... I thought you were made of sterner stuff. You certainly kept it together when you were poisoned. Come on, another round. Less...
Sure. You didn't leave me much of a choice, though, did you? Just the mention of... I'm more timid than you realize. Every time I poisoned him, I had to hide away at home for a few days.
Look, I know it has not been easy for you, my friend. But, I have to say, you really are quite a genius at I mean, the poison we brought from Snezhnaya is as strong as this wine, but you found a way to turn it into an empress... What was it you said? Oh, yeah. You said the soup's fishy flavor neutralizes the pungency of the...
It struck me one day when I was fishing. I'm lucky it did. Otherwise,
You have performed excellently. The Fatui will continue to provide the... Aside from Qingshu Pool, we also have some other requests.
Don't worry. Whatever tasks you have for me...
Did you hear that? It was poison. That's why Uncle Tian... What a nasty guy.
Hold on. Did you bring a camera? If not, you can use mine. This is quite a scene. We have to
We've, seen no progress on the diplomatic front, but soon, everything will be taken care of, and I can report back on a successful mission. Thank you, Juri. I remember when I first saw you. I knew right away that you would make a good partner for us. Hey.
How could I forget? You said a lowly commoner like me could never be seen as a serious candidate for the Tian. The only way is for you to shine bright in the Tianshu's darkest moment.
Yes. Under normal circumstances, the gap between you and other people... Just look at your two competitors. Qianwei had wealth. Mingbo had reputation. And that's why I decided to help you. You know, there's an old saying in the Fatui. Give a starving dog a bone, and it'll guard...
Yes. I cannot thank you enough for...
You know, the best thing about you is that you do as you're told. Heck, when you're not in the company of the Fatui, you'll be...
Uncle Gao said that Jur-E has low self-esteem. Seems he was worried that whatever advantage he might have now will diminish over time. Do you have any more film in the camera? Then get ready to use it. Tonight's grand finale should be coming. How well this goes for us depends on how Jur-E...
Ooh, is there any more alcohol? Go on. Fill me up. I'm gonna...
There's only a little left. Here, I'll fill your glass. If you like it, I can...
Whoa, this is... Huh? Jur-E, you...
You seem surprised, Mr. Yusupov.
You... How could you?
How could I not? I've sacrificed years of my life studying and reflecting to prepare myself for this position. And in the end, I even had to poison my own teacher. You really think I'd put myself through all that just to become your little puppet?
You imbecile. It's the Fatui who got you to where you are. Do you understand? If I just...
Do you see the haystack in the corner? Underneath it is a pile of explosives. And next door in the dark room are the 3 undercover agents. I'm gonna stay here till I see you slip into unconsciousness. Then I'm gonna set this on fire. Once the flames burn through the hay, they'll ignite the...
What?
I took the liberty of leaving some evidence of your contact with the undercover agents at the Black Cliff Forge. It won't take long for people to join the dots. The Fatui planted undercover agents in the Black Cliff Forge to steal their signature ruin-grade explosives. Their plan was to blow through the solid floor tiles in the dead of night. But things didn't quite go to plan. Mistakes were made that led to the accidental deaths of the entire crew. Faced with the overwhelming evidence, the embassy won't investigate this any further. In fact, they'll be only too happy to blame it all on a rogue operation, but it explains why you acted alone, while exonerating the rest of the embassy of any liability. Of course, none of that will have anything to do with me. When all of this comes to...
Jerry, do you really think you're gonna get away with this? The Fatui has a record of... After I die, they'll come looking.
A record? Oh, you must mean the one in the hands of your...
What? How?
Because when you contacted me, I also made contact with your associates. I have Theophan to thank for providing me with the... He'll help me tie up all the loose ends. After all, your untimely demise... He has been eyeing your position for a long...
That traitor!
Shh, 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 shh. Relax. It's over. Sweet dreams.
I did a little surveying on the way here and found that you'd left yourself 3 escape routes in case things went south. I have them all surrounded. If you're thinking of trying anything, we were here the whole time and have pictures of everything. They came up...
The game's up? Forgive me, I'm not quite sure what you're I happened to discover a Fatui operation here, so I approached them on the pretext of joining forces, and eventually...
This is how you want to play it, huh? Fine. You do you. All we need to do to convict you is establish that the poison in his system... Nothing else you wanted to add?
One wrong move and it all comes crashing down. I should have been more careful. You followed him here, didn't you? I was so focused on keeping myself out of sight, I forgot he was a... Let's talk about this, Yelan. I gave you my word that I would live up to the Tianshu name.
Your point...
When I take office, I can guarantee that I will act in your best interests. In fact, all of you here tonight can... I don't deny that I used underhanded methods to get here. But given my lowly origin...
You still don't get it, do you? Even now. What do you think? Exactly. Jur-E, clever people can always come up with a good excuse. But while you might be able to get other people to believe... There's nothing wrong with wanting to win other people's respect, but when has Uncle Tien ever looked down on you? He was like a teacher and a father to you, but you chose to repay that by poisoning him. Whatever positive goal you may have started out with, you threw it away.
That's enough.
Of course. What makes this even crueler is that you managed to convince yourself there was no other way. Uncle Tien was always going to give you this opportunity. Even if you'd out of everyone in the world, he is the one who trusts you the most. So much that he drank your fish soup without doubting you, not...
That's enough!
Life is like fishing. It cannot be rushed. Whatever you do, impatience will accomplish nothing. I was just like you once, desperate to prove myself. Only later did I realize things do not always turn out the way you plan. But you have to keep calm to carry on. You're still young. Be patient, believe in yourself, and don't look outside yourself to prove your value. Where's Jury these days? It's been a long time since he last paid me a visit.
Maybe he's just busy.
Well, next time, if he doesn't bring a pot of piping hot fish soup, don't let him in.
Whatever you were thinking about, you'll have plenty of time to mull it over in prison. Oh, I almost forgot. If the Fatui find out what happened today, prison might not turn out to be the safest place for you. Trying to have friends on both sides, it has a way of turning everyone against you. But right now, I have an opportunity for you.
Huh?
Sorry, things are about to get extremely busy for me. Let's meet at Genshin. I'll have someone remove the explosives. Then, there's someone I have to go and...
Need our help with that?
No, it could be dangerous. Don't worry, as long as... Get some rest.
Add Ash...
Adventurer!
Try your luck betting on Jade?
There is now no poison left in his system, but recovery from the damage already done will not happen overnight.
Dr. Baiju.
You needn't worry too much. Keep taking the prescribed medicine every day, and a full recovery will take... It's good we caught it in time. A few days later and the toxin...
How did they successfully secure such a seldom seen port? Unfortunately for them.
Uncle Tian will be heading off now. Remember to get plenty of...
Don't worry, I will. Thank you very much. Ah, and you're here too? Thank you for all you've done to... Yes, the exhaust...
Luckily, it looks like choosing the Tianshu's successor is suddenly not such a...
Hey, Yelan!
My work is mostly wrapped up, so I thought I'd take a minute to check. The assessment process comes to an end here, Uncle Tian. In my opinion, Zhi is not suitable for the...
You have my gratitude. People can change their loyalties easily.
Is it just Paimon, or is Uncle Tian not that surprised?
Don't underestimate Uncle Tian. He wouldn't have appointed me as assessment. Normally, the Yuehai Pavilion would be responsible for assessing the candidate.
Yes, to be quite honest, I wanted to trust him unreservedly. When I first met Zhi, I concluded that he had no ulterior motives. In the end, even he changed. But when did it start? I never had any plans to recommend. I had no reputation to speak of when I first became Tianshu. I relied on Ganyu's assistance for all manner of things.
I have to admit, he's a smart... The intel suggests that the Fatui saw him as very low risk. But he chose that specific liquor from Xinyue Kiosk because the fiery flavor... He also installed a secret compartment. Afterwards, we also found he had an antidote.
But that's still really dangerous.
Yes. Had he drunk the poisonous wine, he still...
How is Zhi?
Well, I mean, he's sitting in a jail cell. Like Yanfei says, still, he's cooperating. He didn't turn down my offer to strike a deal. I'll make sure there are plenty of guards around to keep him safe.
A deal? Does this have to do with what you said to him when...
Yes, Zhi's not the one I'm interested in. If he was as far as this went, I'd have handed the case off to my sub... But once the Fatui became involved, things got a whole lot more interesting. I thought I might have the chance to catch a big...
Well, did you?
Almost. Unfortunately...
Uncle Tian? Yelan? What are you talking about? Paimon doesn't
Zhi colluded with the Fatui to try and secure the position of Tianshu. Or, to put it the other way around, the Fatui made an attempt to interfere in the Tianshu select... With Yusupov in our hands, and a statement from Zhi, we could have... Also, we'd be able to gain control of Theophan, Yusupov's second-in-command. Then we'd have... Pawns like this can be major assets. They open up all sorts of new options. Why else did you think I was investing so much time and effort into the...
So, okay, well...
We got halfway. The first part went off without a hitch, and we passed all the information on to late... But when we tried to make contact with Theophan, he was gone.
The Fatui must be spying on us. Otherwise, they'd never been able...
I found out from other sources that the Harbinger... The Fatui's main forces aren't concentrated here. Regrader was only treating the... It's a pity that Theophan got away. But knowing which Harbingers are still looking at Liyue's...
I have to ask, Yelan. Do you have a... I remember you showed some interest a few days ago at Yenshang Tea.
Oh, that. I prefer my current life. There's danger and there's... Although it'd still be a behind-the-scenes role. As Tianshu, I wouldn't have the chance to get involved in anything truly clandestine or face any... All right, I'm done here. Time for me to go.
Where are you off to adventure this time?
As you might have guessed. It's for me to... But I'm sure if you keep going as you are, getting yourselves involved in other people's business all the time, you're sure to get caught up in another misadventure before too long. Maybe I'll see you the next time danger beckons. Until then, keep your wits about you. A lot of people are watching you for a lot of reasons. If you have any more questions, just ask Uncle Tien. After...
What's the hurry? Dodge this! Cool it! Windblade!
Surrender and I'll be gentle.
Dodge this!
Let it rain!
You're in for a little Come a little closer.
will be frozen in time. Windblade!
You're in for a little shock.
No one escapes my sight!
Cool it!
You're in for a little shock.
Get him! I'll race you there!
With the wind!
Come a little close.
Windblade!
You're in for a little shock. Come a little closer.
Come take a look. There will definitely be something that catches.
Bet you can't keep up with...
Freeze!
You? Get him!
Windblade!
I'll race you there! No escape! Bet you can't...
Dodge this!
Come a little. Let's spark things up.
Windblade! Don't get frostbite. Freeze!
Bet you can't keep up with me. Not so hard! I'll never surrender!
Windblade!
Let it rain!
With the wind! Cool it!
Hey, come a little.
What's the hurry? This moment will be frozen in time. Windblade!